The 2026 winter season is rapidly coming to a close despite some huge winter storms up north. Here in Texas, things have already gotten pretty warm. It was actually hot yesterday, I would say, and it's definitely time for us to start thinking about detailing our cars. Now, today I've got 4 new products from DIY Detail that we're going to compare. These are their new Type 3 products, and these 2 products, the 1 and 3, are new graphene products, while these do not utilize graphene. We're going to be looking at everything from ease of installation to slickness, durability, visual appeal, contact angle, really the whole shebang. By the end of the video, we should have a really good idea of what these 4 products are all about. When I was talking to Ivan, he mentioned using the adhesion promotion polish would help all 4 of these products. Now, I've used this polish in the past with DIY and C6 products, and I have seen that there's definitely a benefit to its use. We're going to be installing the DIY 1-year spray coating. We want to give it a good shake. Although it's a spray, I'll put it on my Terry applicator like any other coating. Gliding the applicator along the panel is pretty smooth and easy. I'm really not having any trouble spreading this product out. We'll have to see how it levels, and I'm told that what we want to do is wait for a rainbow-like appearance. Now I'm going to use my Terry to level out the coating, and it's coming up pretty easy. I'm really not getting any tackiness. I would say this product is very easy to apply. I couldn't really see anyone struggling too much with the leveling. In fact, I would say as it sits now, I bet it could wait another like 5 minutes and still level out just fine without any added tackiness. Now I'm shaking up the 3-year graphene coating. You really want to make sure everything emulsifies. If you've ever seen graphene coatings in clear bottles, you can actually see that there's so much sediment at the bottom, and until you give them a really good shake, you don't really know that it's all emulsified. I have had these products for a minute now. I've had several weeks to play with them, so this isn't my first time applying them. I just wanted to kind of show you the overall process. Much the same as the 1 year, we're looking for rainbowing, and I'm actually seeing the rainbowing maybe even faster than in the 1 year. It's already all over the surface here. I don't know if any of it comes through in the camera, but it is like a big oil slick. Got a new Terry here, and let's pick all that up, and oh, that's coming off very easily. That was honestly like a wipe and a flip, and it's all gone. I would once again say this was a very easy removal, really no problem here. The 3-year doesn't feel like it's getting tacky. I think it could be on here even longer and still come right up. This 5-year coating is going to get installed right here. It is not a graphene coating, but you still got to shake it up. Much like the 3-year, this coating is supposed to be simple to use. We're waiting for rainbowing. The 5-year maybe takes just a hair more effort to remove off the panel, but by no means is it hard. I'd still say this is very easy. And this little guy, I guess we call it the hydrate, the 8-year coating. It's going to be going here in the 8-year spot. It is also not a graphene coating, but we still have to give it a great shake. Definitely feels like a thicker coating as it comes out of the bottle. Now, talking to Ivan, he said this coating should take about 15 minutes to start flashing. He recommends just doing the whole car and then coming back to it. Obviously, if you're going to do the whole car, I would say you have to have the experience to do that to make sure you don't leave and miss spots later as you go around the car. I would say that's something that's best done if you've already done a bunch of coatings in the past. If you have to sit around and wait a little bit, it's okay. It's not like you're billing a customer by the hour if you're doing this as a DIY install. Right at 15 minutes, I'm seeing a ton of rainbowing. Let's see if this stuff removes. Looks pretty easy. I don't think this is gonna be a problem at all. Very easy indeed, and I have to say, already feels incredibly slick. Woo. I like that. With all 4 products applied, we got to look at the application score and figure out how easy these products were to use. Now, I'm going to put the scores up on the screen now, and to me, these products are 10s. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, I do test these out off camera. I've been using them for a couple of weeks, playing with them here, mostly on the test panel. And I will say that all 4 of these are very, very easy to use. They deserve that 10 spot. I don't think these are the absolute easiest I've ever tried, but they're definitely solidly very, very easy. This is my optical contact angle meter. It's actually a device that I engineered myself, and it's the 2nd generation of this device. It's now fully electrically powered, making it a lot easier to use. Now, what this device will let us do is see just how hydrophobic all 4 of these coatings are. The device is going to allow us to deposit a tiny, tiny droplet of deionized water on top of these panels that have been coated with our coatings. We're going to be able to get an image from the microscope of the profile of that droplet, and then some computer software in my laptop will let us calculate the contact angles, telling us that hydrophobicity. Ultimately, all four of these products are highly hydrophobic. The 1-year and 3-year graphene coatings both came in at 104.6 degrees of contact angle on average. That's good for 7.5 points, while the 5-year coating came in at 105.6 degrees and the 8-year came in at 105.9 degrees. Both of those coatings are going to get 10 points each. Ultimately, I'm very happy with the hydrophobics across the board here. These products have had some time to cure on this panel, and we should take a look and decide whether or not they're pretty in our visual appeal test. For this, I'm going to be taking a look at these products with my eye, using my judgment, my experience with other coatings, my experience with this panel that I prep for every test. Now, obviously, this is highly subjective. It's my opinion, but I have been doing this for a while, and I think I have a pretty good eye for it. Now, in this test, we will average both the score of this red test panel and a black test panel that I prepared over a week ago. I'm very blown away by the big improvement all four of these products have made on the red test panel. Red is usually a hard color to make pop. This is typically where products start to underperform, is on this red panel, and sometimes you just don't really see them at all, especially on those lighter spray coatings. The spray coating here is easily getting 5 points. I was even considering if maybe it should go all the way to the 10. It's not quite there, but the other three products are definitely 10s. They really add a lot of pop depth, really gives that nice candy paint appearance. It smooths out reflections as you look around, kind of using it as a mirror. It makes a really big difference. Overall, I think the 8-year might look the best, but really the 3, 5, and 8 are all very close on this red panel. And here's one of our black test panels where you see the 1-year and the 3-year together. And the story is very similar here. I just think the 1-year is not quite a 10, but I think it still looks really, really good. While the 3-year definitely knocks it out of the park, that's a 10 to me any day. So ultimately, the 1-year is going to average to 5 points for visual appeal, and the 3-year is going to average to 10 points. And here we've got the 5-year and 8-year, and just like the 3-year, they look fantastic on this black panel. Absolutely getting 10s here, averaging to 10s for red and black. For me, the red panel is probably the most impressive because all four products were able to make significant improvements to the red. They actually all four looked great, especially the 3, 5, and 8-year. It's hard to make bright colors like that red pop. Most products, coatings, sealants, waxes, whatever you have, they just struggle a lot more on such bright colors. A lot of times it's hard to tell anything's there. So the fact that all four of these worked and 3 of them worked incredibly is a big win for the DIY team. Now, we've already talked about the visual appeal of these products, and that's just using our eyes and kind of my brain to figure out what I like the best. It's very subjective to me. Let's use something objective like my gloss meter here to figure out if the level of shine, the amount of reflected light, has gone up or down since we've applied the product. And just to give you a baseline, whenever I prep and polish these panels for our testing, they come in at an average of 88 gloss units. So with a 1-year product, we saw a 0.3 gloss unit boost in terms of specular reflection. We saw a 0.4 for the 3-year product, a 1.0 for the 5-year product, and a 2.0 gloss unit boost for the 8-year product. Now keep in mind, 2 gloss units is a very small amount of shine. The good news is none of these products are reducing gloss. This is a big issue we've seen with certain products in the past. You want rich, deep, kind of wet looking, but also reflecting a lot of light. That gives you the most pop. And in this test, we're gonna find out how slick the DIY coatings make our panels. And this is important to prevent marring, swirls, and scratches. A slick surface, you can think of it almost like lubrication. Anything that's gliding on it, whether you're dusting the car or washing it, drying it, whatever it is, the smoother everything is, the more everything glides, the less scratching you're gonna have. If you've ever tried to cut something that's very, very slippery and slick, it's hard to cut it versus something that's grippy and tacky and wants to dig in. Those things are easier to cut. And to work out that slickness, we're gonna be measuring the static coefficient of friction by dragging this weighted block across our panel and then doing some basic math. The lower that static coefficient of friction, the more slippery the product is and the better it is. The 1-year graphene coating came in at a 0.24 static coefficient of friction, which gives it 5 points. In the next level up, the 3-year graphene came in with 7.5 points with a 0.15 static coefficient of friction. For the 5-year, we saw the same 7.5 points with a 0.14 static coefficient of friction. And then the 8-year coating did the best with a 0.08 for 10 points. So that 8-year coating is very, very slick. It's going to offer you really improved protection for marring, swirling, and scratching compared to the other 3, although none of these did poorly. The 1-year, I'd love it to be more slick, but it's sort of middle of the scoring. Now it's time to do what I think is one of the funnest tests. This is the durability torture test, where we're going to be taking these black panels, sending them through my alcometer. A Terry applicator is going to scrub back and forth while the device dispenses shampoo, and we'll be able to see exactly when this coating fails and stops being hydrophobic. Now, before we start the test, it's important to take a look at the base hydrophobicity. Let's make sure these products are actually hydrophobic. You'll also see that there's a control strip right down the middle where there's no product applied, confirming what we saw in the contact angle testing. Both the 1 and 3-year products are highly hydrophobic. Now let's take a look at the 5 and 8, and these are also super hydrophobic. Now I'm going to lock in the first test panel. This has got the 1-year and 3-year coating. We're going to send this through for a total of 1,000 washes. Take a look at the scoring chart on your screen now, and you can see we're going to stop at 10, 20, 50, 100, 300, and then the final 1,000, and check the hydrophobicity. For every threshold that the product is able to meet, we're going to give it the corresponding amount of points. I think it's important to point out that this testing is durability testing, not longevity testing. This does not necessarily tell us exactly how many years the product will perform. Environmental variables like heat and even chemical resistance can affect how long these products really last on a vehicle, including the way you use the vehicle. A vehicle that is garaged most of the time is going to perform much better than one that's left outside. A vehicle in a mild climate will do better than one in a very harsh climate. However, this lets us see what kind of mechanical abrasion these products can survive, and in my experience, products that resist mechanical abrasion are also high longevity products. Certainly products that cannot resist mechanical abrasion are ones that are likely to fail quickly. Ultimately, I gotta say, all 4 of these products have met the 1,000 wash mark. They're all getting 10 points for durability. Well, we've got all 4 coatings tested, and honestly, I'm really impressed with this new lineup from DIY Detail. The new technology being used by DIY here is tetraethyl orthosilicate, TEOS, and it's supposed to resist fracturing. Fracturing is almost kind of like if you were looking at a desert scape. If you were to really zoom into a coating that has been used and abused, you would see those cracks, and it is what reduces the hydrophobic properties of those coatings. And I will also mention that the 1 and 3-year coatings feature graphene technology, which we've probably seen for the last 4 or 5 years or so as a very popular modifier to coatings. When we look at the test results that we got today, all 4 of these coatings are high performers. Now the 1-year is, kind of the entry level to this product line. However, when we look at the 3-year, the 5-year, and more importantly, the 8-year, we're really seeing what this is all about. All 3 of those top products have performed better than the vast majority of coatings that I've tested in the past. In fact, the 8-year coating is now the #1 ranked coating in my top list. So Ivan has clearly done a great job with bringing this to market. I really, really like that 8-year coating. I will say the 3-year is the one that I enjoyed applying the most. I kind of enjoyed how quickly it flashed, and I really liked that it was a very easy cleanup. To me, if I were picking, I would probably go with like the 1-year, the 3-year, or the 8-year. I don't know if the 5-year is just in a weird zone, but I would sort of probably skip that one personally and go for like the 8 if I was doing that. But it is also still early. I've not actually seen the pricing of these, and I think that might make a difference. If the 8-year is like double the price of the 5-year, okay, well then maybe consider the 5-year. So it will be kind of something we'll have to see as this video airs. As we look through all our categories, what's interesting to me is that all these coatings from 1 to 8, they really scale sort of linearly in terms of performance across the board. It is very clear that there's a big difference between the 1, 3, 5, and 8. They all kind of fit in that line up very neatly. You know, the 8 is much more slick than the 1. It's much more glossier than the 1, but they kind of go across that board. So the more years you pick, the better all the qualities get. And I kind of like that because it really makes it seem like it was intently created so that you could pick the level of protection, the level of performance that you wanted. I will also say that it was very impressive to me that all 4 products were able to improve the looks of the red test panel. That is a bright color. It is difficult to make that pop and look great. All of these products were able to do that. Also, we saw gloss increases on all 4 products. That's awesome. So often I look at products and when I test that specular reflection, I see losses. I really think DIY has something figured out here and it's working really well. I hope that you guys get your hands on these products too, and I would love to hear from you. You know, I really love those field reports when you guys are able to tell me how these coatings perform for you out there in the real world. My experience is limited to Houston. You guys live all over the world. You experience entirely different conditions for your cars. And I always enjoy hearing how these products perform for you because obviously the lab is not the real world. The lab is a consistent, directly comparable way that we can see how one product relates to another. But in the real world, that's where things really matter. So ultimately, I really hope that once you guys get your hands on these products, you'll be able to report back and let me know how they perform for you in the real world. I really love making this kind of in-depth, nerdy testing content. I love working on cars, wrenching, all that good stuff. There's something here for everyone. So if you're new to the channel, I do hope you click that subscribe button, ring the bell, and catch another one of my videos really soon.